when God curses the woman in Genesis 3:16, he says, to the woman, he said, I will surely multiply your pain in childbearing. In pain you shall bring forth children. Your desire shall be contrary. Some Bibles will translate it against. Your desire shall be contrary to your husband. So this is what it says. Okay. So what feminism comes along and does is like, you know what? Man, somebody telling you that you need a man to be happy, that like you should focus on your home, that you should like actually aspire to and celebrate wanting to have children. How oppressive. That's for you. Yeah. That's the ideological outworking of the curse of the fall on women. That's is what feminism largely is.
Right. So feminism tries to get women to care about anything and everything but what God has created. So he's created you for your home, your family, and progressives will frame gender roles as women's rights issues. And so I think that's a lot of the reason we're seeing women trend that way. And they want women to feel oppressed by the patriarchy in that. So I won't go through like each wave of the feminism, but pre-industrial revolution, so prior to like mid-1800s, families functioned as a unit. So they lived together, they worked together, daily life was together. And they were a team, just kind of like we call ourselves the Howard team. So it was built on clear biblical and social order. Husbands, he was the head, wife is the helper. And then we start to see a change in the mid 1800s to like the early 1900s. So feminism begins and like I would say creep in because it wasn't like bam, all of a sudden there. It just starts to have a creep. So, it kind of started small, like women's rights to vote. And, like we have, just different things that women were involved in during that time. But that starts to creep in and it started to question the order by framing male headship as potentially unjust against women. So you begin to see the shift from God's design of what God says is good into, that could be unjust. That could be bad for us. And in order to for them to battle for individual rights. And so that's kind of where we're landed now. So women, it's about women's rights. And I think that's why I do think that's why women are starting to trend more progressive because we've just kind of lost the family's shared mission whenever all that happened. When feminism crept in, it was no longer about the family doing things together. It was about each person having their own career, you could say calling, whatever. But once the home was the economic, spiritual, and educational hub, and now it's like a secondary place for most people. So husband and wife live more parallel and side by side rather than integrated and together.